Okay, so in all of our previous videos, we have only been telling you how our ancestors had a sloped forehead or a protruding jaw or no chin. But how exactly did scientists know how to highlight all these features by just from a few bones? That is exactly what we are going to talk about in the video, so sit back and enjoy. We all know that our ancestors were pretty hairy. So how did they determine that? Unlike bones, unfortunately, hair does not fossilize. Hence, comparing modern humans with other living primates helps the researchers work out how hairy our ancestors may have been. Our earlier ape-like ancestors were probably more similar to chimpanzees than to modern humans with regard to their hairiness, while the bodies of our more recent ancestors were probably more similar to our own and covered in very sparse hair. The hairy covering of our early African ancestors would have provided some insulation from heat stress. As we all know, and as we have discussed in some of our previous videos, hairless bodies are considerably more affected by high temperatures. Therefore, to help counter this increased heat stress, our ancestors' bodies began to develop a different method of cooling the body, one related to sweating. Many scientists believe that the change in hairiness and ability to cool the body by sweating occurred at least 1.9 million years ago with the appearance of Homo ergaster. Now comes the color of the skin. Again, scientists have studied the skin colors of modern humans and other living primates in order to work out the probable skin colors of our ancestors. We inherit our skin color from our ancestors, and so it is obviously a trait that is tied to our biology and genetics. By now, we are all aware that when the skin is exposed to intense UV radiation from the sun, a number of adverse health conditions can result, like sunburn, skin cancer, and a deficiency of folic acid vitamins, leading to anemia, infertility, or birth defects. With the darker coloration of the skin, these conditions become less severe. So scientists concluded that our earliest ancestors probably had a thicker covering of hair which would have given them protection from the sun. When our bare-skinned ancestors evolved in Africa, the skin became more exposed to the sun, and a darker skin color would have been an important adaptation for reducing the effects of ultraviolet radiation from the intense sun of the tropics. When our ancestors left the tropical regions of Africa to the areas further away from the tropics, they received less UV radiation, and under these conditions, dark skin was a disadvantage, and gradually light skin became important as it allowed more UV radiation to penetrate the skin and be made into vitamin D, which is essential for bone development and a healthy immune system, amongst other advantages. Populations who have remained in one environment for thousands of years have skin colors adapted to their particular environment. These are the features that scientists had to just conclude based on their knowledge and comparative evidences. Let us now move to features that are evidences on their own. Up next is the body shape. The collected fossils, especially the well-preserved ones, scientists prepare them, assemble them, and then a detailed reconstruction is made, after which they recreate the possible physical appearance of the hominin. Usually, a nearly complete skull is required to reconstruct facial features, and a partial skeleton and some limb bones are needed to recreate height, body build, and possible movement capabilities. However, for fragile or incomplete remains, particularly skulls, CT scans can help create a virtual 3D image and then a plastic cast. To reconstruct a skull in which most parts are missing, the missing parts were filled in with modeling clay. On some specimens, the reconstruction of missing parts is a simple task that can be achieved by copying the features from one side of the body to the other. The task becomes more complex when an individual is missing an entire feature, such as the jaw or both cheekbones. In this case, it may be possible to copy the feature from other individuals of the same species. Otherwise, scientists have to rely on a detailed knowledge of anatomy to determine the appropriate shape and size of the missing feature. Muscles, tendons, fat tissues, and skin are then added to recreate a living hominin. Reconstruction and fleshing out a skull or skeleton gives us a better understanding of how they looked and moved. Marks on the bones show where the muscles once attached and also provide clues about how bulky these muscles were. The general size and shape of the nose can be worked out using the structure of the surrounding bones as well as the size and shape of the nasal opening. However, the exact details of the nose will remain unknown. The color is also debatable. The growth of technology has introduced the digital age of hominin reconstruction. Computer programs blend cutting-edge wizardry with traditional techniques of drawing and sculpture to bring new realism to the movement and behavior of our ancestors. Well, what are your thoughts on these technologies of today? Let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed the video. For related videos, check our channel out and please do not forget to support us by liking our videos and subscribing to the channel. Till then, this is Halabella and see you soon in our next video.